bought my first set in 1938, and it just went on from there, as I used pocket money to add spurs to that set, and it went on and on.
I was 13 when some Meccano literature came into my possession from I don't know where, and I just went mad on it that Christmas and wanted it, and it just carried on from then. I just kept getting it every birthday, Christmas, Easter, bonfire night, instead of fireworks, and it just carried on and on until we started joining clubs, and it went on from there. And then I started buying it, and that's how it carried on. And I've been buying it ever since, for about 39, 40 years nearly.
My first set of Meccano was given to me for my birthday, on the 8th birthday, 1946. And I remember it well, because we opened the box and Dad showed me how to put a spring clip on a rod. And there was a bing, and the spring clip disappeared behind the piano, and I never saw it again. And I was absolutely mortified.
I think the biggest model is the one currently, is the replica of the 100-ton Cat dumper truck, mining truck. That has been the most complex up to now.
The model I've brought today is a model of an upright steam engine that would have been used in small mills, workshops, or sometimes as an upright one to save the space. They use them in ships, small ships and boats and things.
I've been a member of the North West Meccano Guild for 25 years, something like that. And I've joined other clubs from that time onwards. I'm now a member of 4 Meccano societies in this country. The first one was the North West Meccano Guild, who were based at Leyland. The next one I joined was the North Midlands Meccano Guild, which are based at Oxton, just outside Nottingham. And then after that, it was the Telford and Highbridge Society. They're based at the Highbridge Gorge in Shropshire. And also a member of the Sheffield Guild, which are based at Lawton-Ellie-Morton, near Rotherham.
My early memories are that, yes, I continued modelling until I was, I suppose, about 16 or 18. And then I dropped it almost entirely until a few years ago. And then I had to use some in order to help me read the church records, which is, and what they did was, what I used them for there was to convert a microfiche reader to a microfilm reader, so that I could look at the bit of film that I wanted to see.
The biggest one I've ever made is probably a tower crane that I've still got at home. That's about this high off floor. Typical building site tower crane. The hook goes up and down, of course. The gantry goes in and out, and it spins and it swivels around by remote control.
I brought 3 models today. One was the model of the Lowry Footbridge. This is a bridge which is quite an icon in Manchester. The original is 100 yards long, span weighs 240 tonnes, takes 40 tonnes to move it because it's counterweighted. My model has all the movements of the original. The great thing about this bridge is that it was designed, one of the design briefs was that you had to be able to see things moving, and so that's why it is built with the counterweights fully visible, and as the span goes up, the counterweights come down. The model is just the same. The second one, marble roller. Now this is the alternative to a drum kit. If you want your children to make a noise rather endlessly, just make them one of these. The third one is a lighted wheel that is pure decoration.
The model I brought today is a big block setting crane based on the one that featured on the covers of manuals for a number of years. I first saw it when I got my first Meccano set and thought at the time, sooner or later I'm going to build that. But it was a long while before I collected enough parts. For every girder in a number 10 set model of a block setting crane of about the same size, this model has 4. It also has over 100 of some not awfully common parts. So it took probably about 60 years before I got enough parts to build it. And also it involved an enormous amount of hole counting in order to get all the bracing in the right place. Fortunately, as well as the pictures on the manual covers, there are also some pictures of the tower in another publication, and the mechanism is taken from a slightly different, smaller version of the block setting crane, which was issued as one of the famous Meccano supermodels in about 1928. So I took the mechanism from that. It has now been altered quite substantially because the original version was when the electric motors were expensive, and so everything was driven from one motor through a complicated gearbox. To operate this meant fiddling about in the cab, trying to operate some rather fiddly levers to get things to work. So I adapted it so that it could be operated with 4 motors, and these are now controlled by a DCC, a digital command control, I think, the model railway system, so that it can all be controlled through 2 wires and a set of controllers conveniently on the table beside the crane, so you can operate it very comfortably sitting down.
The first one is the mechanograph. That is a machine, a designing machine, using ballpoint pens. The adjustments on it are quite substantial. It's just something that once you're started with the mechanograph, there's always something you can do. And this particular machine, the designs on it, its range is endless. There are that many adjustments that could be made, and there's always something that you can add to it, modifications.
Keep it now in the back lounge, which we don't use an awful lot. But originally it was upstairs in the spare bedroom, but it's now got too heavy to carry upstairs.
Models are kept at home in a room that's known as Daddy's playroom. Used to be my daughter's bedroom when she was at home. She's long gone to other parts. And most of them reside in there. They do overflow a little bit. There is a wardrobe somewhere else that's got a stag in as well.